Greeting, friends. Welcome to Kitchen Stadium. Tonight, we feature the age-old battle of two favorite foods, namely tater tots against tortilla chips. What we are calling battle tot-chow versus nacho.
The ingredients today are the feta crumbles, which I don't know if these are going to get used. Sour cream, of course. Salsa. I can't talk nachos without those. We got some pork barbecue that Dad deliciously made. Carrots and other root vegetables, which maybe we're gonna bake, I guess. Pineapple. We can have that by itself. I hope. Ripe olives, because some people like it on their nachos, I guess. That's your choice. Jalapeno peppers, delicious, and any sort of savory that you want to use. Spinach, good for your health. And of course some cheese, because how can you make nachos and tacos without cheese?
Okay, over here we see the nachos have already been laid out, the tortilla chips. Important to get a good base layer. Looks like Chef is using, is it two different kinds of nacho chips?
Yeah, we used the old packet, and then we used the new packet.
So old and new.
Just for the record, I want to show this amalgamation of chips.
Quality control problem, obviously, in the tortilla chip manufacturing process. Looks like you've got another key ingredient ready to go. What's that, Chef?
Cheese, like a massive bag of cheese,
because you just need a dainty amount of cheese on nachos and tachos?
No, we're probably going to use the whole packet.
The whole package. 2 pounds cheese. That sounds about right. Okay, back to you. Thank you. Interesting to see how the progression goes along. Interesting known fact, nachos invented in 1932 by a man called Nacho. He named it after himself. The rest is food history. Unfortunately, not much more remains other than just this yummy legacy. Another interesting known fact, macho, not related to nacho. You can have hot, fiery nachos that might make you a macho man, but in fact, actually, the two words have very little in common. Again, let's go back down to the stadium to see how we're progressing. Looks like we have another ingredient coming into play here. Doesn't look like cheese anymore. Chef, what are we doing?
Yeah, the cheese has been applied. Now we're adding some pork.
Pork, okay. It looks like
a spoon for
a spoon. That's an instrument I seldomly see in use. Usually just hands in this house, but I guess we do have utensils just in case for the times that the camera comes out and we want to document
for COVID safety reasons.
COVID safety, of course. Don't want COVID on the hands getting on the cheese. Rather have COVID on the spoon. That makes us all safe. Okay, here it goes. I see large amounts. 3D meat. Oh, he's throwing the meat. Okay, I better take a stand back and see how it comes along. Well, good to see the progress coming along. Hold it, I'm seeing activity, more activity. Quick, gotta go back to the chef, see what's going on. Looks like a secret ingredient's coming out. Chef, earlier we talked about machos and nachos not being the same thing, but looks like you've pulled out the fire for this one. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm adding some jalapenos, or as my English speakers would call them.
Jalapenos. I appreciate in Kitchen Stadium, we appreciate the authentic cultural appreciation pronunciation. I notice you have switched your use of utensils to a fork. Can you explain that?
Yeah, these things are circles, so I can demonstrate. I want to get through them.
Spear them. Make sure you don't get too much juice. No one likes a soggy nacho. Maybe the opposite. That would not be a macho nacho, would be a soggy nacho.
Yeah, a little bit of food history. The original nachos were made using the same technique, except instead of using a fork, they would use a trident.
A trident? Back in 1932 when nachos were invented. That's very interesting. They must have been close to the seashore. Maybe. You don't see a lot of tridents in the middle of the country, but maybe they used them to herd the buffalo. We will never know. Okay, thank you very much for that update. Well, looks like they're moving really fast down there in Kitchen Stadium, but hold it. One last thing before it goes in the oven, I'm seeing looks like a secret ingredient that I hadn't seen before coming out. Let me go down to the floor and see what's going on.
Well, you know what they say, when the tough gets going, the going gets cracking. And I think that's why a lot of us chefs like to have a little trick up our sleeve sometimes. This right here is an egg. Put it right there, and it's going to cook really nicely.
Oh, I see the indentation. I should have expected Chef would pull a trick out of his pocket, or I should say an egg in this case. I don't know how long he's been walking around with that, but we won't ask. Well, looks like a perfect complement to what would otherwise be a breakfast feast. A nice symbolism, a tribute to the traditional role of tot-chows in the breakfast roll, just the same as the jalapeno sits proudly on top of the tower of macho nachos. Shall we put these in the oven?
That's right. So it don't have to be macho in order to use those safety utensils. We call those oven mitts, or I guess if we're using the customer pronunciation, oven meat. Let's put it in on the top shelf. Top shelf for the top shelf. Cuisine, I like cuisine. In it goes. Send some chef maybe and put it in the bottom. Right, in it goes. Tantalizing with the oven. The oven doesn't know if it's coming or going. And looks like round two. The tower of nachos. Goes this body in. Looks like it'll be a taller. It won't actually fit. Chef, you might need to adjust those shelves.
Okay, looks like we've got it sorted out. In it goes. Not the top, not the bottom, but the middle. Perfect. Very theatrical. Here we go. The time will tell which cuisine reigns supreme. So let's quickly open the oven. Safety utensils first, of course. And let's take a look. Oh, they look delightfully ready. And voila, look. Nachos on one hand and the tot-chows on the other. Wonderful. Can't wait to try them. Okay, here we are. Tot-chows versus nachos. Let's see what we got. Both appear very crispy on the outside. What do you think about the flavor?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. It's on a high bar to pass. It tastes steaming hot. Now, a common problem a lot of less experienced chefs have will be not cooking the egg right. Let's see. Oh my, that's perfectly sunny side up. Wonderful. Good job, chef.
Thanks.
And then, of course, I think the key thing to point out is the use of layers, especially in the steamy hot. Layers. Let's see. Now let's continue our eating, and then we will come back to you with a final verdict. Well, with that bite, I think that eating has concluded. Declan, what do you think?
Well, I have
Tot-chows or nachos?
Well, I have my winner picked out, so you can make yours public first.
Oh, putting me on the spot. Well, I will say, while I enjoyed the crispiness of the tortilla chips, two different kinds I think in there, and the multi-layered I think was a very nice touch. The jalapeno, or should I say jalapeno, delicious jalapeno. See, I stand corrected. A very nice addition, not too overpowering, but I would say in the end I think it was the egg. That extra little bit of protein and that breakfast touch put it over the top for the tot-chows for me.
I do think that was good, but I do also, just as I suspected, think that the tot-chows were a little bit out of their depth. I thought that they did carry on some flavor, but they were twice baked, and that didn't help them. And also, it's not what they're made for. So I think, for me, the nachos put it over the edge. The egg was a very nice touch, but at the same time, I can't weigh that too heavily because that's an unfair advantage to the tot-chows.
Unfair advantage. Well, very sporting of you. It looks like by a whisker, or should I say maybe a eggshell thin margin, the winner of the chef challenge is the nachos. A tribute to Stan Nacho, who invented them back in 1932. Our hats are off to you and the trident he used. And with that, we bid you adieu. Alakazam!